Capital rationing is a situation where please hold on. I'm trying to respond to this guy. All right, let's go on. A lady is complaining that she cannot log on. Even me, before I could log on, I was asked to put my password. All right, let's go on. We said capital rationing. Situation where a company cannot undertake a viable project, a project with positive net present value, because there is no fund or because of budget ceiling, budget limitation. We explained the nature of capital rationing. Add capital rationing, situation where there is real shortage of fund. The company does not have fund to finance positive net present value projects. And the company cannot obtain fund from external sources. That is hard capital rationing. We explain soft capital rationing, where company cannot finance projects because of budget constraints, budget limitation. Management has established a budget, a capital expenditure budget. Once that budget limit is reached, that means there is no money to finance project again. We explain capital rationing situation. Single capital rationing situation, a situation where capital shortage will occur in a single period. Under the single period capital rationing, we explain divisible projects and indivisible projects. Divisible projects, projects that can be divided into fractions. Projects that you can take certain percentage. If you don't have money to do 100%, you can do 50% of the project. You can do 10% of the project. Then you are going to achieve a fraction of the project MPV. We explain this. And we said, if you are dealing with single period capital rationing with divisible projects, the basis for project selection is your profitability index. Profitability index is calculated as your net present value divided by capital required in the year of rationing. So you calculate your profitability index. We also discuss single period capital rationing with indivisible projects. What are indivisible projects? Projects that cannot be divided into fractions. It is either you accept 100% of the project or you reject the project 100%. You cannot do certain percentage. And we said for indivisible projects, project selection, we are going to consider all possible combinations. All possible combination of the projects that uses as much as possible available capital. And we are going to select that combination that give us the highest total MPV. We equally discuss multi-period capital rationing, a situation where capital shortage is expected for more than 1 year. And we said multi-period capital rationing is not within your syllabus. So we are not going to take question on multi-period capital rationing. After the explanation last week, we now solve questions. We solve question number 6. Yeah, I could recall. This is the question. We started with this question, page 90. Question 6. We solved this question last week. We now move to question 7. For those that were in class last week, yeah, we are looking at this question last week. Page 91. This question, we have solved part A of the question. We have solved part B of the question with a promise to solve part C today. All right, any question, please? Otherwise, we go to part C of this question. All right, if there's no question, please can we refer to page 91? Question number 7. Please, we are encouraging us. The information from management. Most students are not attending classes. Whether you choose to look at the videos, we don't know. But it is the wish of every lecturer to see his students passing the exam. We can't force you. We can only encourage you. All right. We go to the question again. Chief Dan Limited is considering an investment in the following projects. The cost and the MPV of the projects are given below. You have the projects, you have the investment cost, you have the NPV. The company only have 13 million naira available for investment at a cost of capital of 15%. Surplus funds are reinvested at 20%. You are required to advise Chief Dan on project combination to select under the following situation. We have treated situation 1, situation B, now situation C. Project Bravo and Charlie are mutually dependent. What is the meaning of mutually dependent? It means the project must be accepted simultaneously or rejected simultaneously. Mutually dependent. Once you accept Project Bravo, you must accept Project Charles. Once you reject Project Bravo, you must reject Project Charles. That is the meaning of mutually dependent. In this case, where two projects are mutually dependent, we are going to take the two projects as one and recompute profitability index. Where two projects are mutually dependent, you are going to take the two projects as one. Then you are going to recompute your profitability index. You now do your ranking again. And please don't forget, it is assumed that all projects are divisible unless the examiner states otherwise. Oh, make a mistake. Okay, let me copy this first. Please note, it is assumed that all projects are divisible unless the examiner states otherwise. Let me copy this. So please, you are encouraged to try and get prepared every day for this exam. To be very factual with you. From this month of April till your exam days, you might not be able to get your sleep again. All right. We can recopy this. So there is no growth without a price. I'm going to take charts from here. I'll copy charts. Okay. I'm just trying to. Charts come here. Charlie. So 2,000 plus 25. The total here become 45. $900 plus 900 plus 16250. 1625. You are going to have 2525. 2525. So we can take away Charlie now. I need to delete you away from here. Delete the Oro. So you are going to combine Bravo and Charlie. The capital required for the two projects, 4,500. The combined MPV, 900 plus 1,625. 1,625 plus 900. All right, 2,525. Let's move this more. Let's move this more. Now create two more columns. To the right. Here, your profitability index, your ranking. Let me expand this. So where you are informed that two projects are mutually dependent. The two projects will be treated as one. Now let's recompute our pen. Let's recompute profitability index. My pen. MPV divided by capital required. Day 0.6. MPV 2525 divided by 45. 0.561. Next. 1450 divided by 3000. 0.483. Next. 1344 divided by 28. 0.48. Next. 1003 divided by the capital cost. 0.59. Now do your ranking again. We have project Alpha first, followed by project First Trust, followed by Bravo and Charlie, followed by Delta, followed by Echo. You now come to your project selection. Project selection. Project selection. Capital require. Cumulative. MPV. Based on ranking, we start with project Alpha first. That will cost us capital require 1,800. Cumulative 18. MPV of project Alpha 1080. We move to project First Trust. Capital require 17. Cumulative capital 35. MPV of project First Trust 1003. We move to project Bravo. And Charlie. Capital require 45. Totaling 8,000. MPV 2525. We go to Delta. Capital require 3,000. Totaling 11,000. MPV of project Delta 1450. Now, remember you only have 13 million. That is 13,000, 30 up. And you have spent 11,000 out of 13,000. Assuming 30 up. Project Echo is 2,800. And we only have 2,000 remaining here. That means we cannot accept 100% of Project Echo. We can only do percentage, 2,000 over 2/8 multiplied by 100. Please work that out. We can only do 41.43% approximately. If you calculate this out, we can only accept 41.43%. On the assumption that these projects are divisible. In this case, you are going to compute 41.3% of the NPV of project ECHO. That will give you 960. You now sum up. Sum up to get your total NPV. 960 plus 1450 plus 2525 plus 1003 plus 1080. You have 7,018. You now go to your recommendation. If Bravo and Charlie are mutually dependent, Chief Dan Limited should accept projects Alpha, Foxtrot, Bravo and Charlie, Delta and accept 71.43% of projects ECHO. This will give a total NPV of 7,018,000. You are done with that question. We have completed that question. We have completed that question. Any question, please?
Sir, please, good evening, sir. Please, how did you have that 967?
How do we do what?
How do you have, please scroll up. That's 960.
960.
Yes, sir.
All right. Look at project ECHO. The NPV is 1,344. You now take 71.43% of 1344. Because you are not doing 100% of echo, you cannot take 100% of the NPV. Were you in class last week?
No, sir.
So compute this out. That's how we get our 9/6. It is very important. If there is a reason you are missing the class, because it's an online class, you must be aggressive to get the video before the next class. Any other question, please? Okay. I will have moved to the next topic. That we just round up this year and move to the next topic. But let's take go to page 90, question 5. Dandy Company Limited. Please, can we refer to page 90 of your study pack? Question 5. This question is long, but it touches all aspects of capital rationing. Please allow me 1 minute. I'll be back. I'm going to pause the class. I'll be back. So please refer to that page. Let's get ready. Identify the following projects. Project A, B, C, D, and E. We have the initial cost in year 0. We have the inflow in year 1, year 2. And we are giving the NPV, the net present value of the project, at a cost of 10%. Project A, we require 100,000 with an NPV of 60,000. Project B requires 50,000 with an MPV of 40,000. Project C requires 200,000 with a negative MPV of 20,000. Project D, Project E, Project D. If you look at Project C is not financially viable. A negative, please Esther, what's the issue?
Sorry, sir.
Project C is not financially viable. A negative MPV project. This project will be rejected. Now, requirements. You are required to advise in the following circumstances. Circumstance A, the company faces perfect capital market where the appropriate discount rate is 10% and all projects are independent. Which of the projects to be selected? Let us answer A. There is a perfect capital market. Look at response to A. If the company faces a perfect capital market, it means fund capital is freely available. Therefore, there is no capital rationing. Hence, project selection will be based on net present value. The company will accept all projects with positive net present value. The company should accept projects with positive MPV. i.e., projects A, B, D, and E. The company will accept project A, project B, project D, and project E because we have a perfect capital market. That answers requirement A. Go to requirement B. The company faces capital rationing in year 0. There is only 650,000 finance available. Which project should the company accept? Now go to the project. Let us copy this. So please, Let us try. Let us try to prepare for the exam. No, we are worried that we are not seeing students. You have paid for the class, not attending classes. It's a cause for concern. Let me take this two off. It's a cause for concern. It is not just collecting your money. Now, sum of capital required for all the projects. In year 0, capital required. Now, sum of 100 plus 50, 150 plus 200. 350 plus 100. Now, capital required for all the projects, 650,000 in year 0. The company faces capital rationing in year 0. There's only 650 finance available. Now, the question is, capital required or capital available is equal to capital required. There's no capital shortage. If you look at this, if you are to do all the projects, what we require in year 0 is 650,000. Is finance available is 650. That means there is no capital shortage. Now come here, your comments. It can be discouraging if you are having breakdown all the time. So your comment will be, there is no capital rationing, because capital available is equal to capital required to fund all projects. Write it. Our comment here. For B, there is no capital rationing in year 0. This is because capital needed capital available in brackets 650,000 is to capital required. Hence, the company will accept all positive net present value projects, i.e., you are going to accept all positive net present value projects. Positive NPV project. That is projects A, B, D, and E. You have resolved requirements B. Requirement C. The company faces capital rationing in year 0. There is only 225,000 of finance available. None of the projects can be delayed. Which project should the company accept? If you look at this, there is capital rationing. Finance needed in year 0, 650,000. Finance available, 225. That means there is obviously capital shortage. In this case, project C is not financially viable. So it should be projects A, B, D, and E. Now go to the question. NPV of project A, 60,000. Capital required in year 0 for project A, 100,000. NPV of project B, 40,000. Capital required for project B, 50,000. NPV of project B, 110,000. Capital required for project D, 100,000. NPV of project E, 40,000. 200,000. Now calculate profitability index. 60 divided by 100, 0.6. 40 divided by 50. NPV divided by capital required. In the year of rationing, this is 0.8. 110 divided by 100, 1.1. $40 divided by 200. 0. Now do your ranking on profitability index. Project D first. Because the projects are divisible. Followed by project B. Followed by A and D and E. You now come to allocation of capital. You have project selection. You have capital required. Cumulative capital. And your NPV. You start with project D because it has highest profitability index. Project D, capital required for project D, 100,000. Cumulative, 100,000. NPV of project D, 110,000. Remember, finance available is 225,000. Move to project B. Capital required in year 0, 50,000. Cumulative, 50 plus 100, 150. NPV of project B, 40,000. You move project A. Now look at project A. Capital requires 100,000. Remains 50 out of 225. Available 225. That means you don't have up to 100,000 again. Please, 220 minus 50. What do you have?
75,000.
That means you are only left with 75,000. That means you cannot do project A 100%. You only left 75,000 for project A. Now calculate the percentage. You can only do for project A 75% of project A. How do we get it? Project A is 100,000. Finance remaining 75. 75,000 over 100,000 multiplied by 100. Please work that out. We give you 75%. That means you can only accept 75% of project A because these projects are divisible. Cumulative capital 75 plus 2, 150, 225,000. Now, NPV of project A is 60,000. Because you are accepting 75%, you can only take 75% of the project NPV. 75 is 60,000. What do we have?
$45,000.
45,000. No more capital. You can't go to other project again. 45,000. Now sum up your NPV. 110 plus 50 plus 40, 150. 150 plus 45, 195. So recommendation. So for those that missed last week class, this question covers everything we teach last week. The company should accept projects D, B, and 75% of projects A, with total MPV 195,000. With total MPV 195,000. You are done with the C. Please feel free to ask your question. Requirement D. The situation is as in C above. That means you have just 225,000. Examiner say the situation is as in C above, except that you are informed that projects A and B are mutually exclusive. Which project should be selected? What is the meaning of mutually exclusive? Where projects A and B are mutually exclusive, it means we cannot accept the two projects together. Once you accept project A, you cannot accept project B. Once you accept project B, you cannot accept project A. In this case, two groups will be considered where A or B is selected. And the group with the highest MPV will be selected. You are going to consider two groups where A or B is selected. You have group 1, where project A is considered. In this case, we cannot consider project B. You now go back to your ranking. Ranking based on profitability index. We start with project D. We select project D. Capital require, capital, cumulative, MPV. Capital require here 100,000. Cumulative 100,000. MPV 110,000. Project D, sorry, not project A. Next. We are supposed to take project B next. But examiner says projects A and B are mutually exclusive. In this case, you are going to ignore project B. You go to project A. Capital require 100. Project A, capital require 100,000. Cumulative 200. MPV 60,000. Project E is for 200,000. And we only have 225,000. Out of 225, you have spent 200 for project D and A. You are only left with 25,000. Please, if you don't understand, please speak up. That means you cannot do project E 100%. Project E, capital require is 200,000. You can only do 25,000 out of 200,000. The percentage, 25 over 200 multiplied by 100. That is 12.5%. You can only undertake 12.5% of project E. Cumulative 225. In that case, you can only achieve 12.5% of project EMPV. What is project EMPV? 40,000 naira. Please compute 12.5%. Please compute. Please compute. What do we have?
5,000.
5,000. Now sum up these. For group A, if you consider project A, our MPV total 175,000. Second group, group B, come back here. In this case, you cannot consider project A. Once you consider project B, mutually exclusive. You come here, we start with project D. We are starting with project D because project D has the highest profitability index. And project D is not mutually exclusive. I'll pick project D. Capital required 100,000. Cumulative capital 100,000. MPV of project D 110,000. We now go to project B because we want to consider project B. Capital required in year 0 50,000. Cumulative 1/5. NPV of projects D 40,000. You can pick project A because project A is mutually exclusive with project B. So you have to go to project E. Project E is for 200,000. And we only have capital available 225,000. Out of 225, we have spent 150. That means we are left with 75,000. For project E, we can only do 75,000 out of 200,000. Calculate the percentage. 75 divided by 200. You can only accept 37.5%. Cumulative here 225. That means you can only achieve 37.5% of project EMPV. That will be 15,000. Now sum up. This will give us
65,000.
1.
So you are writing 5,000, not 15.
No.
For project E.
Oh, 15. One 10 plus 40. Yeah, you are going to get 165,000. Now, look at the two groups. If I do group 1, I consider project A with other projects. You are going to achieve 175,000 total NPV. If you do group B, group 2, you consider project B, you are going to achieve 165,000 total NPV. Which one is better for you? Group 1. That group that will give you the higher NPV. Your recommendation. Recommendation. The company should accept projects D, A, and 5%. Projects with total MP 75,000 naira. You are done with requirement D. Please, how did you get 37.5? We have done this severally. You are left with capital available. Capital available. 225,000. You have spent 100,000 for project A, 50,000 for project B, cumulative 150. Out of 225, less 150. You are left with 75,000. Project E will cost you 200,000. Please calculate the percentage. That is how you get the percentage, the fraction. We move to requirements E. Requirement C. So please listen. The situation is as in C above. That means you have 225,000 finance available. Except that you are now informed that projects A and B are mutually dependent. Which project should be selected? If project A and B are mutually dependent, it means we cannot separate such projects. The projects will be treated as one. In this case, we are going to recompute your profitability index. You come here. We have projects A and B. You have to combine them. Capital required in year 0. For project A, 100,000. Project B, 50. This is 150. MPV of project A, 60,000. MPV of project B, 40,000. Combined MPV, 100,000. You now go to project D and project E. You are not going to pick project C because project C is not financially viable, a negative MPV project. Capital required for project D, 100,000. MPV, 110,000. Capital required for project E, 200,000. NPV of project E, 40,000. Please recompute profitability index. 100 divided by 150. .67, 0.667, something like this. Profitability index for D, 1.1. For E, 0.2. Now do your ranking again. Project D first, followed by project A and B combined, then project E. You now come to project selection. Project selection, capital required, cumulative capital, then my NPV. We take project D first. Capital required in year 0, cumulative 100, NPV 11000. Remember capital available, finance available. $225. Out of 225, you have spent 100,000. Project A and B is for 150. And you are left with 125. That means you cannot do project A and B 100%. Please calculate the percentage you can do for project A and B.
It's 3.3%.
83.33333. Just come here. 3.3%. Of 225. That is this will give you 83,333. Total NPV 193,333. So your recommendation. The company should accept projects D and 83.33% of projects A and B with total MPV 193,333. You move to requirements A. All projects are independent but indivisible. Which project should be accepted? Now, projects are indivisible. That means you can't do fraction. That means you cannot do fraction. You can't take percentage. You now come here. Pick your projects, positive project, positive MPV, project A, B, D, and E. We are trying to create space. We are going to need it. We are still going to need more. Let me be really factual with myself. I will still need more. All right, let me stop here for now. And project E. So you are going to pick all the projects with positive MPV. Here, capital, 100,000. MPV, 60,000 positive. Year 50,000. MPV 40,000. Year 100,000. MPV 110,000. Year 200,000. NPV 40,000. If projects are indivisible, you are going to look at all possible combination of projects. That will utilize as much as possible available finance. Don't forget, finance available. Finance available, 225,000. We now come to possible combination. Possible combination. Total capital. Total NPV. Please watch this very well. If possible, to wake your colleague up now. We can consider projects A and B. Projects A and total 150. Total NPV that means out of 250, out of 225,000, you are going to spend 150. You are left with 75. You can't take any project again because the projects are indivisible. You can consider A and D, 100 plus 100, 200,000. Total NPV, 60 plus 110, 60,000 plus 110, 170. You can look at projects B and D. B and D. Capital require 150. Combined NPV 110 plus 40, 150. Then we can look at projects E only. Capital required 200,000. NPV 40,000. These are all the possible combinations. You now look at that combination that will give you the highest NPV. Combination A and D will give us highest NPV of 170,000. Examiner says we cannot invest surplus funds. Assuming there are no alternative investment available for any surplus fund. Your recommendation. Recommendation. The company should accept projects A and D total capital required 200,000 naira. Total MPV 179 with a surplus fund. Finance available 225. You are going to spend 200,000. What is your surplus fund? Please, can you off your video? I'm not sure you know. Please be careful with your video. Surplus fund, 25,000 naira. You are done with requirement F. You know, I told you this question touch 95% of capital rationing. Requirements G. Examiner says same as requirements H. That is, all projects are independent and indivisible. Except that you are now informed that surplus fund can be reinvested invested to produce 12% return, 2, 8% return. Which project to be selected? You can reinvest your surplus fund. Yeah. So same as F. Just come back here. Just come here. Case 1. Surplus fund can be invested at 12%. So should we invest surplus fund or not? To answer this question, our surplus fund is 25,000. I can reinvest this money, or I can invest this surplus fund at a return of 12%. So the question is, should I invest this surplus fund or not? To answer this question, what is the cost of capital? What is the cost of capital? If you go back to the question, cost of capital is 10%. Look at it. MPV at 10%. I'm not stated here that these MPVs are 10%. That means cost of capital is 10%. You now return here. Please look up. Please look up. You can either do calculation or be smart. Look at it. Your cost of capital is 10%. If you invest surplus fund, you are going to get return 12%. Do you think we should invest the surplus fund or not? Hello? Should we reinvest this surplus fund or not? Please note, where your return is higher than your cost of capital, that means you can reinvest. Your return, the surplus fund will produce a return of 20%, 12%. That return is higher than your cost of capital. Then you are going to say the surplus fund should be reinvested. You come here, look at it. The surplus fund, 25,000 naira, should be reinvested because the return, 12%, is higher than the cost of capital, 10%. Is higher than the cost of capital, 10%. 10%. But look at scenario 2. Scenario 2. It will produce a return of 8%. What will be your comments? What will be your comment? Esther?
The surplus fund should not be reinvested because the return is lower than the cost of capital.
Thank you. The surplus fund should not be reinvested. If the expected return is 8%, then the surplus fund should not be reinvested. You are done. So please always watch out. Your return must be higher than your cost of capital. Requirements H. Examiner says all projects are independent and divisible. There is capital rationing in year 1. Examiner has moved to year 1 now. Before we are looking at year 0. There is capital rationing in year 1. No project can be delayed or brought forward. Which project should be accepted? If external maximum finance available is 150,000. Now let's go now. Examiners have shifted the goalpost to year 1. The examiner has shifted the goalpost to year 1. I was thinking I'll come to the last topic today. I didn't plan to solve this question, sir. Okay. The MPV, since there's no point copying again now. MPV for project A, 60,000. Project B, 50,000. Project C, negative 20,000. Project D, 100,000. 40,000. Now in year 1, Year 1 capital require 100, 100, 50, 50, positive 100 here. This should be the last aspect. Here we require 100,000. Here 100,000. Here 100,000 inflow. Here 50,000. Here 50,000. Now, please listen to this very well. Examiners say, now year 1 there is capital rationing, meaning capital is not sufficient. You now observe that project C in year 1 will generate 100,000 naira. In the year of capital rationing, a project is giving us cash inflow. Project A is a very bad project. Project A is a bad project. But in that year of capital rationing, year 1, project A is producing cash inflow. Like we said jokingly in the class, that even a bad child has his own good side. In a family, you might have one stubborn child. Out of that stubbornness, he still has his own words, contribution to the family. In this case, project A will be considered first, because in a year where all projects are giving us negative, all projects requires money. Project A do not require any money. In fact, project A is giving us cash inflow. In this case, you are going to treat project A as a special project to be accepted first because of the inflow. Now calculate your profitability index. 60 divided by 100, 0.6. 50 divided by 100, 0.5. Project A, don't calculate anything. Special projects. $110 divided by 50. Capital required in year 1 for project D. 2.2. 40 divided by 50. 0.8. Your ranking. Project C first, followed by project D, followed by project E, followed by project A, then project B. Examiner say capital rationing is now in year 1, and the projects are divisible. We now go to project selection. Now remember, examiner says you have finance available externally. Okay, let's do it here. Let's do it here. If project C is considered, finance available externally, external finance, 150. Internal finance, if you consider project C, internal finance, project C will give us 100,000. That means total finance available 250,000. You now come to your ranking. Your project selection, sorry, you have done your ranking. Option 1, you are considering project C, a negative NPV project. Project selection. Projects, capital, cumulative capital, then NPV. We are going to start with project C. No capital required. In year 1, no capital required. For project C, project C will give us capital inflow, cumulative need, NPV negative 20,000. Followed by project D, capital required 50,000, cumulative 50,000, NPV of projects D 110, followed by project E, capital required 50, cumulative 100. We have 250,000, NPV 40. Followed by project A, project A, capital require 100,000, cumulative 200, NPV 60,000. We now go to project B. Project B, capital required in year 1, 100,000. Please keep that in mind. Cumulative, we have spent out of 250. That means we cannot accept projects B 100%. We can that is 50 over 100. Remaining capital available divided by the capital required for project B. We can only do 50%. Cumulative 250. That means you can only take 50% of project A, project B NPV. 50% of 50,000. That is 25,000. Now, please sum up. Total NPV. Negative 20 plus 110. You are going to get total NPV 215,000. That is if you consider project C a special project. Now you can look at option 2. Reject project C. Capital available will now be 150,000. You now come to project selection. Project, capital required, cumulative capital, NPV. Project D first. Capital required 50,000. Cumulative 50,000. NPV 110. Followed by project E. Capital required 50. Cumulative 100. NPV of project E 40. Remember, you only have 150. You now go to project A. Based on your ranking, project A is for 100,000. Out of 150, you have spent 100. You are left with 50,000. That means you can only do 50% of project A. Cumulative 150. Then accept 50% of project A NPV. Let's go check. That is 30,000. $30,000. Sum up. This is 180. Which of the group will give you the higher NPV, total NPV? Group 1. Your recommendation. Group 1 with project C should be accepted. The company should accept projects C, D, E, A, and 50% of projects B with total MPV to 15,000 naira. You are done with the question. The last requirement is multi-period. Multi-period is above your syllabus. You are done with the question. All right. Any question, please? We are done with the topic. You can look at any question in your study part and practice. You don't need to wait for lecturer to give you assignments. We have touched all possibilities.